Hello colleagues. Today I'm going to show all the methods producing figures about proportion of language online. And from the comparison and analysis of those methods, I will draw a conclusion about the lingua franca of the internet. There are 6 methods, the last one on the right on the way, not running yet. 3 of the players are business company, one player is a university, and the last player, OBDC, is my NGO. W3Tech is a company providing web technology surveys, and they have added since 2011 data on language online. Data provider is a company providing data on all the websites existing. They have a database for that. And NetSweeper provide data on security from the huge database of web page they have set. Ionan University in Greece have made a study on the proportion of English on the website of the country code top level domain of European Union before Brexit, including United Kingdom. And my NGO, Observatory of Linguistic and Cultural Diversity on the Internet, have since 2017 a method of indirect approximation of 361 languages on the Internet, providing indicators. And we plan this year to have a new project called MESILD, which will do the same as W3Tech, but without the very huge bias which characterize their method. Their method is using the Tranco 1 million more visited site and apply daily a language detection algorithm, but they account only one language per website. And not considering that website can be multilingual, provoke a huge bias that we have estimated in the peer review papers to be 100%. We'll talk about that. Data provider have the capacity to manage a multilingual bias, but in the publication they have made the unique one shot, they have not done it, so they suffer the same, for the moment, for the same bias. Anyway, they have concluded with us some agreement, and we will use their database to provide a new shot paying attention to multilingualism. NetSweeper does not suffer from the multilingualism bias because they work on web page instead of website. We don't have communication with them. We tried, but no way. So we don't know about their bias. They may have selection bias, which is important. 12 billion page is 30% of the universe. Ionan University have no bias. They have done a good job, and they manage language detection on 100,000 websites. In any case, there is only one company which is extremely famous and which trusts all use and the discovering of their data on the web. They are ranked high by Google. Statista refer to them, Wikipedia refer to them. Unfortunately, this is the most biased method which has the attention of most people, which is really a problem when those people are researchers like you or they are policymakers. If you take the data for English and you apply the equation which is below, unbiased data is a biased data divided by the rate of multilingualism, you will see that English proportion on the web is around 25%. As for the figure of Ionan University of 28%, it is important to understand that the proportion of English speakers in European Union is twice as important as the proportion of English speakers in the whole world. 27% for European Union, 40% for the whole world. If you look at the other language, you will see that there are two languages which really, or maybe three languages which have problems. Chinese is only computed 1% by W3Tech, while we see it at 90%, and NetSweeper at 20%, and data provider at 10%. Arabic, we see it at one of the fourth language, same for NetSweeper, but Arabic is absent from the statistic of W3Tech and data provider. So really, there are something which is not working fine. In 2025, we will offer new results for the full set of websites on the database of data provider, and hopefully we're going to have very robust figures. MECLD will offer the same results than W3Tech, but without the multilingualism bias, so good news. In 2025, we will know finally the rate of multilingualism of the whole web and of Franco. We have a data more precise for English. We will understand what happened for Chinese, which may be out. It's the same as Hindi and Arabic because of the selection bias on many methods. And we will know if our approximation method in OBDIC is comforted in the result or challenged. The conclusion of that panorama very fast is pay attention to method and bias when you take results from the web. Today, the most biased method is the most visible method on the web. So please prefer peer-reviewed method for your computation, because you cannot have good result with a good algorithm if your data are wrong at the entry. The multilingual nature of the web cannot be forgotten. Today, the web is the most multilingual realm of the world. If you read, and you can do many data figure of English per person on the web around 60%, just divide by 2 to know the truth. The lingua franca of the web is multilingualism, boosted by AI-powered translation. I'm going to show you some curves which are very interesting. The curve of proportion of English on the web from our data. It's today getting into an asymptotic toward 20%, and maybe this asymptotic will grow 5.25, maybe more, when the digital divide is overcome in Africa. The number of language online from the Unicode data have been growing from 100 in 2017 to the 750. It's only 10% of the language, so there is a long way to go, but very good news. If you take the language with more than 1 million speakers, mother tongue, L1, which probably are all today inside the 750, they only represent less than 5% of the language, but more than 95% of the speaker. Today, if you take L1 plus L2, less than 4% of humanity cannot see contents or access in a language they control. Good news. Which does not mean that we don't have to work for the many thousands of languages which are left aside, because it is a right to be present in the digital world. The rate of multilingualism of humanity is 1.44. 44% of humanity speak more than one language. It is easier for websites than for human to be multilingual. And we will see that curve gain very fast growing now. So today we are leaving a deep paradigm shift for language online, generating translation of documents without losing formatting, creating website multilingual with help of translation, organizing video on platform with subtitle automatically set in any language, integrating interpretation online on meetings, etc. The lingua franca of the internet, I repeat, is multilingualism boosted by AI-based language tools. I recommend some readings. In particular, is it true that more than half the web content are in English? No. If multilingualism is paid due attention. You can find these papers, the presentation on the web. Thank you for your attention.